The world of coffee is complex, just like wine. There are endless versions and ways of making your coffee drink. And if you are a coffee connoisseur, chances are you enjoy brewing your own cup of coffee rather than have someone else make it for you. So today, my friends, I will be spilling the coffee beans on how we can all be coffee connoisseurs and make our own perfect cup of coffee. A cup of coffee is only as good as the coffee beans that are used for making it. And there are various types of coffee beans available that lend a different flavor profile to your coffee. Now, when it comes to brewing your own cup of coffee, there are a number of ways you can do that. The most commonly known and the most popular is, of course, using the French press. We see this commonly across all baristas. I like this Chazé French press very much because it's quite beautiful, aesthetically very attractive to look at, very stylish. This uses the immersion technique where you allow the water and the coffee beans to steep for a couple of minutes before you then use the plunging mechanism to allow the coffee to rise to the top and allow yourself to pour yourself a glass out of this. So the French press is the immersion technique which we're all well familiar with. But today I'm going to show you another way to make your coffee, which is through the infusion method. We may have heard of it as the pour over coffee method. It is where you actually involve yourself in brewing your cup of coffee, and it can be very aesthetically pleasing. There's a lot of showmanship involved here. There's this great looking apparatus that you can use, and it can be the perfect way to actually wow and impress your guests. You bring out this equipment, you kind of brew this coffee in front of all your guests, and what's great is it actually only takes a few minutes in order to be able to brew a quick cup of coffee. So I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. So what we have here in front of us is this carafe where the coffee is going to be made, and this is made of borosilicate glass. Borosilicate allows the carafe to withstand very high temperatures of water without actually breaking. So that's an excellent material to use for making of this carafe. And what we have here is the metallic mesh, which is really very attractive to look at. What is great about using metal versus paper filters is that it's actually reusable, it's very easy to keep clean, and most importantly, it actually does not strip the coffee grounds of the important oils which are carrying the flavors. It allows all these oils to transfer through into the coffee in the carafe, and therefore what you end up with is a much more flavorsome, robust cup of coffee. So that really works well. All right, then let's make some coffee now. So I'm going to reach out for this spoon and take some coffee, and this has already been ground. Of course, you're free to ground your own coffee from your coffee beans, but this one's ground, and it's been ground to perfection, I can see, because what you're looking for is granules that are not too coarse and not too fine, and you just want them to be about medium in texture so that they allow the infusion to happen fully and completely and beautifully, right? Now we have the coffee in the mesh filter, and now what we need to add is some hot boiling water to this. Now here I have with me the Steamcatcher equipment, again a very fancy and a very attractive looking equipment. It's got this wonderful elegant spout that will allow this water to pour through slowly, elegantly, without just dribbling all over, which is exactly what you want in the pour over technique. What you're looking to do is to soak the coffee beans with this boiling water just effectively so that every granule of coffee in that mesh is immersed and infused with the water in order for that coffee then to percolate through into this carafe. So one important pro tip about the boiling water is that you actually don't want it to be boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. You want it to be slightly lower than its boiling temperature. So anywhere between 93 degrees to 98 degrees Celsius would be perfect. And there is this integrated thermometer right on top of this Steamcatcher, which will allow you to read the exact temperature of the water in this equipment. So are we now ready to start pouring this water? All right, let's do that. What you then do is you start to pour it, and you pour it in a circular fashion and very slowly and gently. The reason for doing that is you want to ensure that every granule of coffee inside the mesh is properly infused and is in contact with this water, because that is what will make the coffee really good. It'll allow all the flavors of these coffees to be enhanced, come out to the fore, and finally drip through into the carafe. And as you can see, the coffee is now being made and is falling beautifully into this carafe, and it's making itself. So you can always wait for a few seconds before you run your second round of pouring the hot water. The slower you go, the better the coffee turns out. Now, this carafe has a reading on it. There's a line here that you can see, which allows you to see how much is 1 cup. So you can pour just about as much water in the coffee grounds till you reach that level, and then you know that you have your 1 cup of coffee ready. And in about 5 to 7 minutes, you'll realize you have 1 cup of coffee perfectly ready for drinking. So all you need to do now is lift this carafe, pour yourself that coffee, and if you wish to add a bit of cream or milk, go right ahead and do that. You could also add a bit of sugar. I like mine black and without milk or sugar. So I'm going to taste this the way it is and tell you a feel for what I taste in the cup, right? So, oh, it's really light. It's fruity, but what I get is this wonderful caramelly chocolate kind of notes that come through. It's not very acidic. It's quite well balanced. It's actually quite energizing, quite refreshing as a coffee. So I'm really enjoying this coffee. I hope now you have all learned how easy it is to make a pour over coffee and how flavorsome it can be if you've actually taken the trouble and the effort to make your own coffee rather than depend on somebody else to make it for you. And that's it, guys. This is how you make yourself an elegant, fine textured cup of coffee. And now that you've all mastered the art of making yourself a wonderful coffee through the pour over method, don't waste any more time. Try one for yourself and leave us some comments on what else happened over coffee and conversations in your own personal experience. Do subscribe to our channel, Sonal Holland Wine TV on YouTube, for many more such exciting videos, and we'll see you next time. And on that note, ciao for now.